everyone, if you were like me, you were obsessed with this in college. For a whole lot of years, you could tell that she was expecting. It's Liz Callaway.
Hi.
Okay, let it just be known that before we were filming, there's a lot of sassing going on. Liz always plays innocent roles, but in real life, you are, well, I would say a biatch. What would you call yourself?
A biatch.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm the anti-diva. I like to think of myself as the anti-diva.
I guess by sassing me all the time as being an anti-diva?
Well, you deserve it.
Okay, see, this is put up with. Anywho, okay, a couple of things before we get into the song I want to ask you. First of all, when you were, for a while, you were in...
Oh, what is that? What is that song?
Okay, this is the comedy I have to put up with. My point is, you told me that you were backstage for so long, you would do things with the actors, like they'd want to know information and you'd give it to them, like games or something, like if like a baseball game is playing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's such a liar. Okay, such a liar. So like there'd be like a sports game playing.
Let's say there was an important Wimbledon match or an election, perhaps, and certain people would. I remember we had some Canadians in the cast, and they were interested in the election results of the Canadian national election. So what we decided is, when I made my entrance, if I was just slightly more upstage, that meant that the incumbent was winning, and if it was downstage. So I did that, but all in character. I was in character.
But the point is, because they were on stage all the time, so she was their only outlet to news
That's
sources.
Right.
Okay, so that I'm obsessed with. B, please tell everybody, whose voice did you do? What movie did you do? Anastasia Fair? Was that your movie?
Seth, there were so many movies that I did. Let me see which one you mean.
Okay, there's only one, and what was it?
I did one movie in my life, it's Anastasia.
Thank you. And who were you the voice of?
Anastasia. Anya.
Who was the person?
The speaking voice was Meg Ryan.
Okay, did you?
I did the singing voice of Meg Ryan.
Now Liz told me that when she met Meg Ryan, it didn't go so well. Can you please elaborate?
You didn't tell me you were going to ask.
You told me not to ask you what I was going to ask you. You said, she goes, don't tell me what you're going to ask. Now you have to reveal it.
No, I introduced myself to her at the opening night party, and I said, hi, I'm Liz Callaway, and I did your singing voice. And she said, oh, really? I told everyone I did the singing. She walked away. And I, of course, in true Liz Callaway fashion, was just like, oh, okay, great. The anti-diva / doormat. But things have changed. Since Anastasia, I've toughened up.
I know, but only towards me. Anywho, we're going to do, so I'm obsessed with Liz. Listen to her all the time. Love her voice. I also used to love it on, this is that all the time. Once she hated this city. So pretty. The point is, you were doing Baby, you were doing this, you told me the story, you were doing, this was like a backers audition or something, right?
Right, we did a million backers auditions for Baby.
And the normal ending, why don't we do how the normal ending normally went? It ended on a crazy high soprano note. I don't know why. So this was the headachy. Want to do it? And thus it is.
Okay, I'll try. Do you know I have not attempted to sing this as originally written since we did it in workshop. So this was a few years ago. So this will be really pretty.
32 years ago. Here we go.
Oh, I hate you.
And
what are the words?
Thus it is.
And thus it is, our story goes on and on and on and on.
Original ending.
And on. No, it wasn't really the high part.
But it was late. This crazy soprano F sharp. Or G. The point is, what happened? Regardless, the point is, you went to
We were doing one of the backers auditions, and I had a cold, and I said to David Shire, I said, I never did it well. The high G. Actually, that didn't sound terrible right now.
Well, you had 32 years to work in it, dear.
And it was an F sharp. But because I have a cat, and I talk to my cat in a very high voice, my sopranos actually improved. But I didn't have a cat back then. And so it was like, and it was horrible. I thought you were saying, we'll cut that.
No, I was saying
we'll edit that. And so, anyway, I said, there's no way I can do that. I said, let me come up with something else, and I'll attempt to do something else. And so I did what is now known as the ending of the song, and David Shire said right afterwards, it's like, that's it, and we never went back.
And then it's so it was because of a cold, the signature ending happened. So we're gonna recreate the actual signature ending. So imagine.
But can I just tell you one thing before we do this?
Yes.
We were joking when we were rehearsing it because Seth has it's really hard for him to play this part. I mean, he's very good, but sometimes, you know, there's just something that comes up that's a little tricky for him. But so when we were rehearsing, when he was rehearsing this, I did a different ending. I really did on Broadway one time. I was really sick. And I went,
no. And this is our
story goes on and on and on.
So boring.
And on. And then keep going. And then if I took a really, really long time. And actually, at that show, my eventual sister-in-law was at the show, and I was so embarrassed that she was coming to see me, and this was right before we closed. So anyway.
Terrible singing. Okay.
This isn't really going to air, is it?
100%. So here's the real ending.
How am I going to sing the real ending when I've been laughing? This is terrible.
It's good acting, dear.
All right.
End of Act 1, she feels her baby kick for the first time, full, center stage, full orchestra, old school with the full orchestra.
And actually, this is right after the instrumental, so this is when she feels her baby kick for the second time.
Subtext.
And all these things I feel and more, my mother's mother felt, and hers before, a chain of life begun upon the shore of some primordial sea has stretched through time to reach to me, and now I can see the chain extending. My child is next in a line that has no ending, and here am I feeling life that her child will feel when I'm long gone. Yes, all that was is part of me, as I am part of what's to be, and thus it is our story goes on and on and on and on.
She still got it. You played to the balcony at the end.
And now I'm hyperventilating. So where's the oxygen?
Where's your cat? I gotta go.
Where's my cat?